לפני סיום אנחנו עם זה, כשהמשבר בין המדינות בשיא חדש וברקע חילופי המכתבים והאשמות השבוע בין נתניהו למקרון, אנחנו מביאים היום ראיון תגובה ראשון של שגריר צרפת בישראל. שואלים אותו על ההכרה במדינה פלסטינית, על החרם על חברות הנשק הישראליות ועל הפעולות נגד ישראל באו"ם, ואיך הם עומדים מול מאות אלפי יהודים שחיים כיום בפחד בצרפת. השגריר, הנה הראיון.
Thank you, Afar. Very pleased to be speaking with you today.
Can you understand why so many Israelis feel that France has chosen a side and it's not Israel?
You know, I've been living with you and the Israeli people through those 2 terrible years following the pogrom of October 7, and I know that you are living through these excruciating feelings and the mobilization into a war on multiple fronts. But what I keep saying to my Israeli interlocutors and to our Israeli friends, and Emmanuel Macron repeated it again yesterday in his answer to Benjamin Netanyahu, is we have never had any intention to act against Israel. We consider Israel as a friend. We consider Israel as a valuable and important partner to stabilize the Middle East in the long run. We have huge human links with you, long-standing cooperations. The entire problems that we've had have been related to Gaza, actually, and to a lesser extent to what's happening in the West Bank.
And yet you are very focused on criticizing Israel, but we rarely hear a clear call on Hamas to simply release all the hostages. Why is that? And is it related to some pressure, maybe, on President Macron from Qatar?
To answer the last bit of your question, not at all. That's, and more in substance, we are calling for the release of the hostages by Hamas over and over again. We had 8 hostages, 3 of them lost their lives. We lost more than 50 of our citizens. We even had a memorial ceremony with the only country in the world that carried out a National Day of Remembrance for the victims of October 7. We've always been considering Hamas as a terrorist movement and calling for the release of the hostages. We hold Hamas as the only responsible for starting this war. We've said it time and time again.
But you don't even set a condition of releasing all the hostages. Isn't that simply a reward for October 7th?
You know, when you make a political move, you're not going to condition it to the decision of a terrorist group. So we decided that we had to move on the recognition because we've been doing a diplomatic movement together with the Saudis to a view that the future involves normalization with Israel and a stabilized region with Israel and yes, with the Palestinian state. Second, to have those countries involved for the stabilization of the day after in Gaza, a governance without Hamas.
But when Hamas, a terrorist organization, applauds your decision, doesn't that make you wonder if it says something troubling about your country?
I think we need to be very careful not to fall in the tricks of Hamas. Hamas is a terrorist group. And it's a jihadi group. They don't want the 2-state solution. They want to destroy Israel. That's always been their policy. So when Hamas say, yes, we are happy with you, when we make a paper, when we say they will have no role in the future of Gaza, of course this is Hamas propaganda. That's what I believe. We also believe Israel achieved a fantastic momentum over the last 2 years. Momentum by demolishing Hezbollah, momentum by giving formidable blows to Iran's nuclear program. Emmanuel Macron wrote that to Benjamin Netanyahu in his letter yesterday. Take advantage of it, it's your best hand. Hamas has never been lower, and you've never been stronger.
Look, I'm sure you remember the history. Israel left Gaza in 2006, and soon after, Hamas militants shot or threw PA members off rooftops in Gaza. Can't you see that if Hamas takes over the West Bank it could mean another October 7th, but this time in the heart of Israel.
Having Hamas getting to power in the West Bank, no way. They won't be part of the elections. We don't care to have them. We are ready collectively to be accountable, including for the commitments of the Palestinian Authority to fight hate crime, to fight hate speeches at school, to reform effectively, and we say, and they say themselves, they will be demilitarized. So it's not enough, but you have to start from somewhere. Otherwise, it's war forever.
You know, some might say that it's all political pressure and the attempt to subdue Muslim sentiments in France. How would you respond to that?
It's not about calming the Muslim community. It's about calming the society as a whole. To be more specific, that we have right now the extreme left agitating hostility to Israel, to fuel anti-Semitism, and to break the center right, the moderate vote. If we leave it all to the extremes, they win. The moderate side, which the president represents, had to do something. We acknowledge very deeply that the ideal of having a Jewish nation here in this land is a valid one, and we support it. But we also believe the Palestinians, they are from here, they're not going to disappear. They will need at one moment self-determination, like any nation, and to have a little country of their own. It's going to be a super small one. I understand you're scared by decades of hatred and anger. But at some point you start moving up. We do proposals, that's our job.
But Mr. Ambassador, despite your actions, France has become less and less safe for Jews. How do you live with the fact that Jews in France are considering leaving because they fear for their children's lives?
After October 7th, when we saw, as you say, anti-Israelism starting to fuel anti-Semitism, we put more than 15,000 policemen in the streets to protect the community's meeting places, synagogues, cultural centers, kosher shops, schools. It's half the amount of policemen we put in the streets of Paris during the Olympics. So we made a huge security effort. We just passed a law, 31st of July, to prevent and punish anti-Semitism in higher education. We're the only country that has done that through a law. And this is to fight the type of things that you've seen in universities worldwide and which has been so shocking for Jewish communities or for Israeli people. We're fighting it. So what's happening in the streets in Paris, it's shocking me. I'm heartbroken. I've been quoting in many TV channels. There was a song, it was an Arab, a Lebanese singer, Louis Chedid, who had a song which was called Anne Masseran, I, my sister. I would love so much to tell you, you can sleep quiet. The beast won't get back. And the beast is back. And that's awful. I'm suffering from it. 3 times as many anti-Semitic acts in France as 2 years ago. I don't want my country to stay like that. But I'm suffering when Israelis are telling me what you're doing is fueling anti-Semitism. And I understand Macron got hotted. That's what, when you read his first line, he put a little bit of chutzpah in it, saying he didn't like it. And he said, when you're telling us that, you're actually attacking us as Republicans. I hope we're going to bring the beast down again. I know it's going to take decades, but we need to work on it. We cannot use that to smash at each other. It's too important for us. We resent it too strongly. And sorry, I'm a bit emotional in that. We are really breaking our back to try to fight it. We know how much our Jewish citizens are suffering right now. But we are not doing nothing. Of course, we can always do more, but we are not doing nothing.
Mr. Ambassador, thank you so much for this interview.
Thank you so much.